Lotus. It's Gabby from Long Avenue Productions. How are you guys doing? I know it's been a couple of weeks, but I've finally gotten the time to give you my thoughts on the first three episodes of All Stars Season 10. I'm just going to go down the list and talk about each gal. First of all, I just want to say that I really appreciate this format because I feel like with less girls or less cast members, we really get to see the interpersonal dynamics more clearly and see their struggles and strengths and triumphs, which to me is what makes Drag Race what it is. Like, yes, the the runaways are important and the challenges are important and the guest judges, but the glue that holds all of this together are the actual queens themselves. So, with that being said, I want to talk about Deja. Deja to me is a solid queen who has accomplished so much, but she does not give herself the credit she deserves. And I hate that for her. I really do. I feel like Deja has a tendency towards leaning on external validation, which hurts her ability to enjoy the present moment, which she completely deserves because, for example, the acting challenge. Even though Deja got really good feedback from Rue and everyone thought she did a good job, she didn't think she did a good job and she never feels good enough. And I hope she gets to the bottom of that because Deja has a light, and I suspect that there are people that could not handle that light, so they just decided to tamp her down. And that's not right. That's definitely not right. And even like the weight loss surgery that she got, I believe, and even she said it herself, like, I thought I needed to lose the weight so that I could be more palpable and acceptable. And she almost died because of it. And even though, like, the Deja's still the same, the light that she had that attracted all of us to her on season 14, it didn't go down when she lost weight. It was still there. And it was kind of tricky because Deja was like, if I could go back in time, like I would not do that. And to hear Ross also tell her, like, oh, give her positive feedback for losing the weight, it's kind of like a catch 22 because we say that we don't do things for other people, but like when we get positive feedback from the world, it makes us understand that, okay, what I was doing was important. So it's kind of tricky, but all in all, Deja, believe in yourself more, girl. Like, I know she didn't make it to the semifinals, but that doesn't have shit to do with her not being a good queen because she even got a couple of badges from the queen. So they were looking out for her. So she forced relationships. She did what she needed to do. She's a good queen. She's a good competitor. And she just needs to, like, believe in herself more and don't trip if this fickle ass fan base doesn't see it for her. When I found out that Phoenix was going to be back on this season, I was thrilled. I understand that Phoenix was an early out on her season, but she has done a lot of work in the drag community in Atlanta. She's got her own production company. She's been producing shows. She's been performing. And honestly, for me at this point, it's not about like who the fan base loves. I'm all about who does drag for real, for real. Like that's who I roll with. So I hate that she's fading into the background and she's getting in her head, quote unquote. Um, but I'm glad she's back. We need to see more older franchise queens in these newer iterations because baby drag is drag and these kids need to know where the queens that they're living for, where did that come from? It can't just be ageism. So yeah, I'm glad that Phoenix is back, but she comes alive with the girls and she has great rapport with everybody. And I hate that she didn't go to the semifinals, but I do want to see more of her in the future. Irene, I don't have anything to say except I'm extremely proud of her comeback as a competitor. I love that they made a note to say she was the worst placed contestant in Drag Race history, and this girl came back and won every damn challenge in her bracket. Like, you better work. You better work. Aja, my personal favorite to win. She's a great competitor. I did not like that she didn't make the top two and that people had to give them her a badge for her to make the top three. But I'm glad because Aja has a history of doing well in this competition and not getting the recognition she deserves. So it feels edifying that she's going as far as she has. Bosco, I'm not surprised that Bosco's doing well. She's one hell of a competitor and a drag queen. And honestly, the thing I'm noticing about Bosco is she's funny. She needs to go on tour and do comedy if that's her thing because she's always got a quip for something. And she's also hyper feminine. And I don't know if that's the equivalent of a cisgender woman being 18 and discovering her beauty and the way it impacts the world and her sexuality, and she just wants to show it off. But I feel like Bosco's kind of in that. Her drag is like, let me be as naked and as hyper feminine as possible. And even though the basketball players that they made over this weekend were all very feminine and gorgeous in their own way, I'm glad that we got the message that there's no one way to be a woman, cis or trans. Olivia Lux. She should do more TV. I do feel like she's a bit genuine to be super good at the game of Drag Race, but she's great for TV drama. She can sing, she's gorgeous, she did really well in the makeover challenge, and I love that. So, yeah, I would love to see more of Olivia on a different format. So, I love that one eliminated queen can be a part of the final lip sync. My question is, what is the criteria from the judges on who they decide to bring back? That's going to be fun. The next brackets, I need one queen to give, one classic queen to give these newer queens something to cry about. And I mean, like, the way that Irene came back, I need these older seasoned queens to come back and be like, this is how you fucking do drag, okay? And I'm looking at you, Nicole Page Brooks. That's all I got. I'd love to hear your comments below. Let me know what you think of this new season. I'm loving this format. We get to know the girls better. I'm more emotionally invested, and it's a fresh format. So congrats to the producers to finding new ways to keep this show fresh. That's all I got. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.